Nowadays, when I have open conversations about self-care rituals and how I love myself, I see people reciprocate to me in three ways mainly. Type 1, these people wonder what this is all about, and when they understand a little, they would want to experience that feeling but don't know where to start. And you hear them mostly say, I also want to take care of myself and I'm not sure what to do. And I call them the self-deprived souls because they truly have deprived themselves from self-love. In this video, we will explore this category of people and talk about where to start, how to create our own self-care ritual, and if we have one, what is it that we can add on to it. So continue watching, and before we get there, let's understand the other two categories too, because that's important to fix the main one. Type 2, on the other extreme, I see people mistaking self-care to selfishness, and they use those terms very loosely based on convenience. They term every selfish act of theirs as self-love, and I hear them say things mostly like, I don't care Navya, I just want to be happy, or now it's all about me, I've given up too much for others, I don't care where the world goes, or I don't know who gets hurt. I call them the ignorant or the narcissist souls because they're really ignorant of what they're talking about. And there is this third category who foster their growth and understand self-care very well. They know the boundaries of it and know that self-care is all about exploring and owning oneself, and these are the flourishing souls. So today, I wanted to spend time and reflect with all of you on what self-love means to each of these categories and how to find an equilibrium and strike the chord of melody between these two extreme types. By the way, for those of you who are new here, this is Krupalini Swamy, and last year I collected and shared life lessons here on my channel. This year, the focus will be on self-love, compassion, mental health, and collective wisdom. If this is something that interests you, then do consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon so you are notified every time I upload a video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well to see how I adapt and work on these learnings in my personal life. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with type 1, the self-deprived souls. These are mostly people who, when looked at, have a clear understanding of what they want to achieve in their professional and personal side maybe, and how they want to take care of their loved ones. They are the problem solvers for everyone else's life, but little do they know how to invest into themselves. You ask them to make a list of things that they enjoy without connecting it to their loved ones or others, you will see them struggle quite a lot. These souls are all about giving to others, and they kind of forget to have a relationship with themselves. Pen on paper, they'll not go further than one point maybe. The one thing that runs in their mind mostly is, where do I start? How do I find that bliss within? How do I feel happy without someone else being involved? And if I do that, am I going to become selfish? Are you someone in this category? Do you hear your thoughts on the same lines? Remember, self-love and self-care is all about nurturing the inner soul, sitting with it, having a conversation, healing the wounds, and nurturing growth from within. It has very little to do with others but with your own self. But let me tell you, this is not about being a narcissist and neglecting the world and being inconsiderate of everybody else and thinking only about yourself. In fact, I'll talk about it soon when we talk about type 2 people. But for now, remember, self-love leads us to honor and to connect consistently with a wiser self. This increases our love, wisdom, creativity, and compassion, and selfishness leads us to sink further and further into the wounded, darker side of ourselves. In doing so, we prioritize addiction, compulsions, and self-numbing behavior that flows from this dark space. Self-love is all about finding that inner light that brightens up our lives and that of everyone that we come in contact with. And you don't have to feel guilty whatsoever. Never, in fact. All of us deserve this time with ourselves the most. With that being said, let's now look at how can we find our way towards that light and how to nurture our soul and how to create our own self-care ritual. My top 5 tips to those who feel they want to start off on the self-love journey but don't know where to start. 1. However difficult it may seem in the beginning, create your own self-love and self-care ritual and do not try to follow someone else's list. It might have more adverse effects than do good, because you will find yourself trying to fit into someone else's shoes that is not your size. 2. Try and spend time with yourself in absolute silence and without any distractions. Start with smaller durations and keep growing it as days go by. Listen to the stories and the thoughts that you carry in your mind. Just watch the thought and don't engage with them. Learn to be a good listener. Observe. It might be surprising to see how you might find it very difficult to sit with yourself even for a few minutes, and all that your mind is telling you is either it's not working, or push your thoughts towards your chores, or connect your thoughts to your loved ones. When this happens, have a conversation within yourself and ask yourself a question, maybe saying, how are you doing today? Listen. Just listen. Allow your mind and your body and your soul to adapt to these conversations. It's like a brand new relationship that you're having with yourself. Start with making your soul your friend, and then love will follow. Here are a few questions you can ask yourself over these daily rituals. What makes you happy? A time that you're proud about yourself, your achievements as a kid, your happiest moment as a kid, and so on. But remember this, do not engage, watch your thoughts and be a good listener. If you see your thoughts take the route, like I said earlier, talking to you about chores or your loved ones, just calmly go back and ask the same question again. Wait patiently for it to open up. Also, remember this always. This is a brand new relationship you're setting up for yourself, so give yourself time and be patient till your soul reciprocates love back to you. 3. If you find it difficult to just sit in silence, or you want to notch up the practice a little, then start journaling. Put the pen on paper and start rediscovering yourself. I have created a simple self-reflection journal that is beginner friendly, that you can use over the weekends or times that you want to surprise yourself. You pick a question from the journal and answer it. I'll leave the link of the product in the description box below. You can choose to use it if you want a guided space for these conversations. 4. Take yourself out on a date. As cheesy as it may sound, now that you're talking to your soul every day, it's time to move your relationship a little ahead. Try to spend time alone with yourself out in the society. It's not like you're going for shopping for your household chores or household grocery, or going out to work. Take yourself out on a real date. Dress up for yourself. Book a table in your favorite restaurant, go watch a movie or a play, or do anything that you think you would have wanted your loved partner to do it for you. Make that date. You will start finding that lost soul whom you gave up in your churn of life and the other responsibilities that you carried. 5. Now, finally start creating your list of rituals. I'll tell you how you can do it. Ask yourself one simple question. If you do not happen to have any responsibilities and you could do whatever you want, what would you do? There you go. You will hear pouring of thoughts, a list of hobbies and dreams and incidents that you would have loved to be in. Stuff like, oh, I would have gone and taken a long walk. Oh, I would have done a painting. Or, oh my God, I would love to sit in the shower for a long time. Or I would read and read unless I fall asleep. Or I would take care of my skin. Or I would wear clothes like how I would during my college days. There you have it. Your soul has opened doors, and you now know your self-care ritual. All that is to be done now is create the list, make time, and invest in the brand new relationship you've created for yourself. It's like any other relationship. Just because you started having a relationship with one person doesn't mean you sacrifice the rest. You balance all of them. You now have a relationship with yourself, and it's going to keep you happy, content, and fulfilled. You're now becoming a full cup who's flourishing, and you will now never ever feel tired of loving others, since you have that in abundance within. So there you go. You have your own self-love, self-care ritual that you created. Do let me know how you found this video, and also do feel free to share it with your loved ones who struggle to take care of themselves, because we all deserve a dose of self-love. With that, we come to the end of this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one, where we talk about the other extreme of people, type 2, the ones who think self-love is selfishness, or those who are on a spree of wrongdoings and are being selfish but are covering it up, calling it self-love. By the way, did you take a look at this video that I created earlier and shared? Do click on the thumbnail and we can continue our conversations there.